Hey, what's going on, world? Welcome to the TempCheck podcast. I go by the name of Don John.
And you already know what it is. It's your boy S to the I to the V-double-A-D. Survive. Ooh,
hey, that was the intro. I like that. Alright.
Ooh.
Alright, so let's go ahead and crank some things off, man.
Hey, let's get it, man. Shit.
We ain't talking about weekends and shit like that in the past, so fuck it. Let's just jump into that, y'all. Alright, so I guess I'll crank it up.
Go ahead.
So my first topic is a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it says, struggling to reach a goal. Why is it so difficult to reach a goal? Right?
Uh-huh.
And I have some insight here. I'm going to open up this notepad and share what I found. There's a few reasons I found on this website. It's actually newbreedmarketing.com. And it says some of the few reasons that it's difficult to reach a goal is one, lack of commitment. They say setting a goal does not mean that you have committed mentally to accomplishing this goal. I thought that was a very profound statement. In fact, some would say commitment begins when you start acting. So just thinking about it might not be good enough. So if you have a goal in mind, if you're just simply thinking about how you want to actually accomplish that goal, if you don't start taking those steps, you might feel a little bit discouraged because you haven't quite got to where you see any progress. So progress is definitely an indicator that you're on the right track. So being committed is really what's going to put you on course by taking those actions. You're committed to taking those actions. You'll get to where you're trying to go. So just chill. It'll be okay. I promise. Another one is focusing too heavily on the result. Yeah, I thought that was a good one too. It says it's easier to think about the result, but it also can increase your anxiety level about actually accomplishing the goal.
That's real shit.
And that's real as hell, because when you keep focusing on it, and it's something that I've learned in my own personal journey, that when you want something to happen, you can manifest it in a way in which you don't focus on it too long. You accept it as a reality, right? So just like when you go to a restaurant and you say, I'm going to order this, you don't sit there and say, I wonder if they're going to bring it out. You know what I mean? I wonder when they're going to bring it out. Yeah, these people got their order. These people got their order. I might have been here sooner than them, but they already got theirs. And that's sort of how life is, right? We're looking at other people sometimes. We say, well, why haven't I gotten mine? But we know that the food is going to come out. We don't have a question about it. So that's how we should be about our goals as well. So don't focus too heavily on that.
Not to cut you off, but like I think a lot of times we don't appreciate the journey. You know what I'm saying? We just want that quick result just because of the society that we live in. It's always like rapid fire type shit. We don't accept the process, the journey. Sometimes you're gonna have rough bumps in the road and stuff like that. But that's the beauty of whatever your goal is. I think about also like this podcast and this podcast shit. We got goals. We working towards them. But the beauty about it is that we're kind of just figuring it out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I've been podcasting for like 2 years. I mean, my other podcasts and everything. And in the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, I want 1 million subscribers and all. I want 1 million listeners and all that shit. But I had to actually bring it down to, okay, what type of segments do I want to have? How do I want to structure this? And there was a beauty in that just by itself without the results. The results came later, of course. But just stop and smell the roses, goddamn. You feel me?
Yeah, the process is so beautiful, bro. Like even people that watch us, I feel like we're developing every episode.
Yeah,
you know what I
definitely.
mean? So it's interesting to see and to be a part of that experience. Feels amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people develop their shows, their brands, their artistry and all of that. So it's just like to be in the actual part where we're on the platform and they're watching us get better.
Yeah. Shout out to the subscribers.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Because y'all constantly growing. It's like, what are we saying on here that y'all like? Let us know. Everybody's journey is going to look different. So don't think about, how someone else may have what you want. Just know that what you want is yours. Know that it is yours. Know that it is here for you. Everything you need is inside of you. You'll have it. Just know that,
In the words of the 76ers, trust the process.
Yeah.
Stop and smell the roses.
Smell them roses.
Even if they smell like boo-boo. My topic
stacks, yeah.
is my topic is Robert Noyes, a black guy. He held a white woman hostage and made her watch Roots to show her what it's like to be black in this country.
Oh, man.
What do you think about that?
Hilarious, first and foremost.
This is real.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm glad she's okay, right? Because
I don't know if she's okay mentally.
Nah, she's probably traumatized, and she probably hates black people more than she ever has. You feel me?
With honor.
Like that was absolutely a horrible decision. Who does that? Come on, you want to teach her to love black people by kidnapping her and then forcing her to watch a film that's maybe 20 years old, maybe more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and Roots is a good film for some people. Some people don't like Roots or whatever. But come on, that's not the way to teach someone about Black history.
That was gonna be my question. How do you teach somebody?
You teach teach the willing, bro. You teach the willing. You can try and teach the people who don't want to know. But if I don't want to know, I'm gonna dismiss the information as a human being. That's what humans do. You know, so you can't, you can teach them if they want, if they're genuinely interested in learning. If they're not genuinely interested in learning, they're only going to get so much of that information. The rest is just going to be dismissed. Yeah,
man. The nigga Robert Noyes, though, for real, bro. This is not how you get through to the white race about the plight of a black man or black people in general. This is not how you get to him, bro. He told her that if she didn't watch it, he would dismember her and scatter her from Chicago all the way to Ohio.
Damn.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yo, you got to be a soldier to sit there and watch the whole thing of Roots. I applaud this woman.
It's a great film. But, yeah, nah, we not, that's not how we get to, get through to white people.
To anybody. You can't force anybody to do anything.
Facts.
You know, that's crazy. So that leads me to my next topic. I want to talk about mental health, right?
Okay.
And is this something that is just a hype topic, a hot topic of the now? And why is everybody talking about mental health?
Oh, you with the shits today, bro. You with the shits today.
Yeah.
Whoo. I think okay, so this is what I think about mental health. I think it's definitely a real thing. But I don't think I need a what do they call niggas? I don't think I need a therapist or nothing like that. Like the way I get out my frustration or I get out memories and trauma and stuff like that is through other avenues. I don't feel like I need any pills. I don't feel like I need any a therapist or anything. But to each its own. What do you think about it, bro?
Mental health is real, right? And the fact is, a lot of people deal with mental health. They're mental in a different way. Mm-hmm. So, you know, some people are able to successfully express themselves in ways they're responsible enough to do that, right? Some people aren't. You know, some people just simply aren't able, they don't allow themselves to find ways to express themselves that's healthy, in a healthy way. So instead they act out. Or they do things to cause other people harm. And I think really that's where the issue lies. Because overall, we don't want defective people walking around harming other people. That's what they're
or themselves.
Or themselves. Or themselves sounds good. But honestly, you don't want to walk outside if someone's crazy and your girl is here. What if she's outside by herself? Right. So it's just like we want them to be safe, but we really don't want them to harm our family and friends.
Right. But if they harm themselves, they are harming their family and friends. And if they do it in a public gesture, like offering themselves in an airport or something like that, everybody that's watching has just received some type of trauma as well.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's like little kids and stuff like that. So that's why I say, for the person as well, the individual as well.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. It's just my perspective is this, right? I don't want anybody to affect my friends and my family's life experience in a negative way. And if there's people out there that are unable to responsibly express themselves, then that leaves my friends and my family at jeopardy. One thing about the people that I want to speak to now in those high crime neighborhoods in Chicago or Detroit, you know what I mean, or like even in Louisiana, it's like these people are dealing with trauma. You know what I mean, and it's not a black on black thing. It's a geographical thing. The landscape is the issue. There's limited resources. There's not a true genuine care for education. There's no jobs really for them that they can get with their education. So
and the jobs that they do get don't even cover half of the expenses that they have to go they have to pay for.
We're speaking about poverty.
Exactly.
And poverty is one of those things that you can't deal with and just come out of it okay. So there has to be some type of understanding internally, and everybody is not responsible enough to find ways to deal with it. So for people that are in those areas, they definitely need therapy. Most of them don't have fathers, right? Most of them see men around them in negative lights or in the streets, not doing anything productive, but making money. So I need money. My family needs money. My cousins need money. My friends need money. So this is a way to make money. I'm gonna make money. So I get it. It's just that that aspect of money making affects the whole community.
Yeah.
So then you have other people walking around doped up and suppressing their emotions versus seeking counseling or some type of therapy, because therapy is not cool. You know what I mean? It's not something that's been around as a source of help.
I think some people misuse different diagnoses. So for example, people that are sad, you're not necessarily depressed. I'm not telling you that you're not depressed, but I'm saying it's people that are out here that they're sad for one day, but they make this whole post about how depressed they are. Or they're a little nervous about something, and now it's my anxiety. You're overindulging in these words, and you're doing a little too much, my brother. You're just scared of the situation. That's all it is. It ain't no anxiety or nothing like that. Because once you start telling yourself, this is my anxiety kicking in, I feel like that's kind of a gateway to actually receiving anxiety in all situations. Same thing with depression. Right.
I think people just think that it's popular right now to say, "Oh man, my anxiety," or "Oh bro," things like that, and you really don't realize the severity of what you're saying. If you really had this shit, you would be fucked up.
Your ass would be in the house, man.
You'd be fucked up. But because it's so popular, you just throw out these words and throw out this and you don't even know the half of what these people going through that really experience these things.
And I mean, we can easily tie the shit in with the music and the media and all that. Has it been pushed? Yeah, but once it seems, and I think this is with everything. Things are created to be good in a sense, but then it becomes, once it's overindulged, then it's it becomes tainted. So yes, mental health. There's a lot of people that need mental health. There's a lot. Everybody needs mental health. But there's a lot of people that do need therapy. That do need the medicine or
additional help.
Right. That do need additional help. Yeah. But come on, man. Just because you're sad for 2 days don't mean that you're depressed.
Don't mean that you got a problem.
Right. Come on, man.
That you can't fix yourself.
Right. Hey man, y'all give it up for Jocelyn Hart. She been doing the videography for us and everything. That's the beautiful voice that y'all hear. Check her music out as well. But
absolutely check her music out. She's an incredible person, incredible artist.
Facts.
Yeah. Now she's sitting in here blushing that we talking about.
Yeah. All right, man. So Billie Eilish has been getting killed. She basically said that these rappers out here that's rapping about having all the cars and the women and the AKs and stuff like that, shit ain't real. What's up?
Calling folks out.
Yeah, basically. She's saying she got friends that's rappers and these guns and shit, talking about shooting niggas up. They ain't really about that life. First of all, I'm gonna ask you what you think about that. What you think about her talking about it? Okay. Because she's not really hip hop. She's more like
not really hip hop.
Pop. I don't know. I listen to her music.
Eclectic sound.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think it's driven by hip hop though.
Absolutely.
A lot of those beats, a lot of those drum patterns is definitely hip hop. But does she have any? She has validity to what she says. I 100% agree with her. But does she have any room to say anything because she's not a hip hop artist,
right?
Or of our hip,
right? Absolutely.
So what do you think about?
I feel like if you still think this rap shit is real, then you need to diagnose yourself as needing a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that go back to the last topic. But honestly, like for real, y'all, this rap shit ain't real, dog. A lot of rappers are rapping about what their label is telling them. A lot of rappers are rapping about what's popular on the radio. There are certain keywords that are spoken about, topics, let's just name them: drugs, sex, money, violence, murder. These are all topics that majority of the rappers are speaking about, especially on the radio. All of them doing that shit, and none of them are in jail. Or majority of them are in jail. They're not incriminating themselves. No, because they're actors. So these guys aren't telling the truth. And I mean, she just called it how she saw it. And if those are her friends, then no, don't tell on your friends, right? But if she was just observing and saying, hey, this is what I see, I get it, because I do the same thing. I'm doing it right now. But I am a part of the culture in which I could say something like that. So coming from her, I understand the hold up, right? But what she said was absolutely accurate. It was correct. It's 100%. All right, so my next one is going to be spirituality versus religion. That's always a big one. For whatever reason, it's always a big topic.
To me, spirituality versus religion is basically a lifestyle based off of works and a lifestyle based off of faith.
Okay, I'm not mad at that one.
That's how I'm breaking it down.
I'm not mad at that one. That one was respect, Yeah, I respect that.
Trying to tread the waters.
Okay, yeah. I think that was close to what I think as well. Spirituality and religion are very, very similar. Honestly, to be 100% transparent with you, that face.
Because I was about to say something. Go ahead.
To be 100% transparent with you, both of these are titles.
Yeah.
So spirituality and religion, those are titles. So they both have people who follow those teachings on both sides. So I think that at the end of the day, these are titles in which are meant to be positive, right? So these are good-hearted people following different understandings of how they see the world and how they see life. On one hand, you have religion that does have multiple facets, right? You have Buddhism, right? You have Hinduism. You have people that are Moors. You know what I mean? So it's so many facets under this umbrella of religion, and I haven't even touched half of the religions under that facet, right?
You got Wiccan, you got a lot of them.
Yeah, so those are all different religions, right? And then spirituality is similar because you have yogis, you know what I mean? You have people who are monks, you know what I mean? You have people that simply don't practice any religion, and that's a part of their spirituality. That's one thing that divides a lot of people. We don't agree on everything, but we're able to respect one another and work together for a common cause.
Right.
So that's something people just aren't willing to do at times due to ego and due to their traditions teaching them not to cooperate or coexist with other people.
Just because you don't agree with somebody don't mean you can't be cordial.
Yeah, definitely. I treat everybody with respect regardless of what they believe in, even if it's not what I believe in.
And this remind me of a while ago I was watching The Breakfast Club and Tia Mowry was on there. And somehow they got into religion and like what she believes, and she was like, I wouldn't say that I'm religious, but I'm very spiritual. So that's an example of like she choosing spirituality over, like, it's almost like how you said it's a title. Like, I'm
absolutely
spiritual, but I wouldn't say I'm religious. Like,
yeah.
So.
Religion is something that I was brought in. You know what I'm saying? I was raised in religion. You know, and like I'm sure all of us
a lot
were.
of black folk.
Yeah, all black folks for the most part.
Yeah.
A large percentage of black folks. We were raised into religion via tradition, and my sister sent me a post, 25 rules to live life on your own terms. And the first point says traditions are peer pressure from dead people. You don't have to follow the rules of the past. That was very profound. For that to be the number one topic, I was like, wow.
People, I mean, life is breaking traditions. Like, it's a lot of stuff that's happening now that our parents would be like, are like, oh my God, I never would have thought. And it just, I think that's just the progression of life where each generation feels like I can create my own world.
My own reality. Yeah.
I do think that there's nothing new under the sun though. So just because I don't think there's any like new ideas. I think all ideas have always been. So this is just what I think though. So like you could say I'm not like break tradition or whatever, but I know myself. There was a lot of things when I was an adolescent. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do just because my parents told me to do. But when I get older, I'm like, damn, I remember them telling me this, and now I understand why I should do this. You know what I'm saying?
That's true too.
So that's just how I look at it. I don't think that tradition should be like a thing that holds you, but I do think tradition is something that does explain a lot of things and does give you some type of insight as to where you are when you get older. That's how I look at it.
Maybe it's safe to say tradition is displayed differently throughout each generation, but it still like the core of traditions
Still remains.
Yeah.
Because we're still humans, you know, and human nature is innate.
Nah, I've definitely like delved into the other like belief systems and stuff like that. Or not delved in, but like read up on and talked to people of different beliefs. But for me personally, I've always come back to what I know, and that's just me in general. So, yeah.
What do you know? What do you know?
Well, like aside from like the whole titles thing, I'm a follower of Christ. So I believe that Jesus died for the whole world, died for our sins, and it's up to us to believe in Him to receive eternal life. If you don't, then you go the other way. So that's just how I am. I've always come back to that every time I've gone out and looked up Hinduism, Buddhism, and all that stuff. I've always come back to Christianity. So that's where I am.
I feel that. And there's a scripture that says something like, maybe it's not scripture, but it's something that's commonly spoken in Christianity. Because I remember this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, raise them up in the way that they should go and they will never stray.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so that's a testament to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, man. Would you give up social media for a relationship?
For who?
For a relationship.
Nigga, no.
Why?
Me, as an individual?
Yes.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not happening. Social media, what's the insecurity about?
Okay, okay, nah. So
Okay.
Nah, so I'm giving up social media. If my significant other wants
absolutely not. What are you trying to accomplish?
Happiness with my significant other.
Yeah, but
no, I think you're thinking for the purposes of like I don't trust you on social media. I think you're just saying taking it away generally. Let's just not have one. Not I think you out here doing some shit. Delete your shit right now.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
Are y'all on the same way?
Either way it goes. This is how I feel, right?
Okay.
I'm not deleting my social media for you. at this level.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. At this level, social media is my friend. You know, social media allows me to post things, get people engaged in what I have going on, let them know where to go when I drop something new or when a podcast comes out. It absolutely does not make sense for me to get rid of a social media account on account of someone else's feelings.
Okay, so do you break it down as far as like girlfriend versus wife, or it don't matter? Just
it don't matter because how it's going. If my wife is telling me I need to get rid of social media, why are you making it harder for our family to thrive? Because I'm the part of the family that's out here doing something unorthodox.
Yeah.
So in order for me to do that, this is the means in which I have to use to make it happen. So why would you try and rob us of this happening? You know? So,
well, is that considered your social media? Like if you run a business or you run a podcast, then that's the name. The social media is for your business or for your podcast, whatever you are. It's not personal. So there is the difference between a business, you know, social site versus a personal. Are you on there just strolling, you know, or are you on there because you're posting your food menu?
Yeah.
And you're posting what's going on Friday at your, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's absolutely
you can't say that. Then.
I can because it's absolutely a difference, right? But we didn't discuss if it was personal or business.
Okay.
So I'm speaking from personal right now.
So are you're saying completely altogether your personal?
I'm talking about personal. Because business is business. That's totally different. That shit means of living. I'm talking about personal social media.
I'm going to tell the truth. My personal page, I would not give up. My business page, I would not give up. And I wouldn't give up my business. I wouldn't give up my personal page because, honestly, you get more hits on your personal page than you get on your business page. So that would be...
So you bringing it all... It's for you, it goes right back to business.
Only because if you look at someone who has a clothing line, you look at our podcast page, we have more followers on our individual page than we have on the podcast page.
Y'all subscribe.
So yeah, please, goddamn, add it up, rack it up, press that follow button and all that good shit.
Instagram, all that.
But a lot of times, the only reason you get more traction on your personal is because
you post more.
You post more often, and your personal never leaves. It was you from the beginning. You in 2020 having the idea that you want to create this new business, you've already had your personal, so obviously it's gonna get more traction. This is something that's being built up from from 2020.
I feel that, but I'll challenge that and say most people want to connect with the individual. So you like the show Insecure?
Yeah.
Do they have an Instagram page?
I don't know.
You don't know. But you know Issa Rae has it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Issa Rae has an Instagram page. It's no question. So people want to follow the person. They don't want to follow the brand without following the person. They want to follow both. If they don't follow the brand, they want to follow you. So that's one thing I've learned about social media. So I would have to just explain that to my significant other as to why I'm not deleting my social sites.
Okay. It's my next thing. So you said you would keep your personal because you want people to be connected with you. Why do you want people to be connected with you?
Because that's how you get people to the brand.
Gotcha. We
are going out to bring people to we say make sure you follow the TempCheck podcast. If we weren't here to say that, then what? So at the end of the day, it's like that personal page is that first and foremost that person, that third party that's going to get you to the business page. And besides that, that's the most interesting page because you get to see how that person truly is outside of whatever they're presenting to you.
Is that true? Because a lot of people that just post fake shit on their page. So how you can't really say that. Yeah, it's a lot of people that just post memories, good memories. They don't post everything. They don't post.
I agree.
I woke up at 6 a.m. I gotta go to work. I gotta do a double shift. Now I got bags under my eyes. They're not posting that picture.
No, a lot of people aren't. Some people post stuff like that and they'll mention how everybody is posting just their highlights, right?
Right.
But what it boils down to is my personal page, is important to me because That's where I connect with people. I've made business accounts, that didn't do so well in the past. So as an individual, I choose not to delete my personal page, not to delete my business page. If you want to be in a relationship with me, you have to understand that this is the field that I'm in, and this is what is required of me in order to receive the most success from what I'm doing.
I'm giving it up for you, baby girl. Just know that.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Y'all niggas can log out right now.
But I mean, I do understand what you're saying. But if you're talking about for the sake of,
if it's detrimental,
for the sake of just happiness, because this shit, it's an app. This shit is fake. It's an app. It's just an app on your phone.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So for the sake of true happiness, you would choose an app over a real human being that loves you. Like that can show you the most. You know what I mean?
I feel like if a human being loves me for who I am,
they're going to accept that damn app, huh?
What they're going to do is they're going to accept who I am. And a part of me is a person who has to promote, right? A person who has to reach out to individuals, right? A person who studied this shit for years. So to take it away just to make you happy is kind of selfish. You know what I mean? I went to classes about social media. You know what I mean? I've really invested in trying to understand what happens when you use certain keywords, all types of shit like that. So to take that away from me is to say, yeah, I know that you put a lot of time and energy in this, but I think you should grow up, or I think you should move on. And it's kind of a slap in the face.
It's definitely a form of like success and ways of financial being if done correctly, but it's also a huge form of destruction. So it's a matter of destruction and distraction. So it's a matter of, I guess, juggling those things. Like this girl that I work with, she's 20. She's never had social media, and she lives the most happiest, lucky-go life ever. Like, she's never distracted. She is just a different type of person. So I think if it's done the right way, it can be great. But like how you guys were saying about mental health, it's destruction. A lot of that stuff stems from what people see.
Because niggas don't really like your shit. They just see your shit and say, oh, let me just double tap because I know him. Not all the time.
Or fake like realities.
Right.
So that's
or they want to be in your shit.
It's all illusionary. Absolutely.
It can be great, but it can also kill people.
And I want to ask this: like, what's the reason that it should be deleted? What would cause that question? Can you delete your Instagram? Can you delete your Twitter? Can you delete that?
Well, the one thing I can think of, and this is just like, I was talking about my homeboy. Shout out to Trey. I was talking to my homeboy at work today, and just telling him we was talking about like social media and shit like that. And I think everything, but more so social media, was created for a good cause. But like everything, it gets tainted by sex most of the time, and by promoting a false reality of what is. So number one, I don't have any kids, but like future kids and shit like that, whenever social media, I'm like, oh yeah, they set up their Instagram and everything. Oh, they just want to, like what their friends like and all that shit. 2 a.m, they looking at chicks twerking, shaking their ass, or you know what I'm saying, like that's.
But how does that relate to you and your social media? Why would that need to be deleted? Your social media, not your kids, but like, why would your social media need to be deleted?
Temptation.
So via temptation, that's the cause.
For me, yes, I think so. Yes, and I think for most men, I guarantee, about 90% of y'all niggas got some pages or y'all got some shit on y'all timeline where it's a chick showing her whole ass.
Yeah,
If you in a relationship, that's taken away from
BET Uncut before we had cell phones. So
right, but BET Uncut was what, 2 hours in a living room.
Yeah, because
it wasn't every day on your phone.
Technology's changed. So now we
That's not an excuse for it. That's not an excuse for it.
I'm not making an excuse. I'm making an observation. Technology has changed.
That's right. Okay.
So now we're at a space in which we have access to this stuff. It's our personal decision and responsibility to not indulge in it as much.
There goes the question: would you delete it for the sake of just?
Why not work on it, not indulging in it as much?
That's like putting a donut in front of a fat person and telling them not to eat it.
Unless it's not gluten free and this nigga's on a diet.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Let's just have self-discipline and scroll through all the big ass shit.
Right. Hell no.
Is that really realistic for niggas?
Come on, man.
Like, well, men in general.
Everybody has a vice. And by this world being so...
But if it's a fake world, what's the problem if all of them girls is fake anyway?
It's distracting you from what's reality. What's right in front of you. I.e. your significant other or your job. You trying to make money in a physical sense rather than, oh, I'm online. Shit. Now 3 hours done passed. I'm still looking at ass. Or I done went into something totally different. I done rabbit holed into something totally different that has nothing to do with my whole reason for being on this app, which is supposed to connect people and if you're a business person to do business shit.
Okay, so lust is really the main factor that we're speaking about.
Lust, but not lust ain't just sexual. I'm saying, like I said before. For instance, me, I'm a sports guy. So I'm going on the TempCheck pod on IG, and I'm posting something on IG, and after that, I gotta get back to work, or I gotta get back to whatever else I'm doing. Oh shit, damn, LeBron just scored 49 in the game. Let me watch this game on IGTV. That's taking me away from everything. You know what I'm saying?
So that's a cause to delete that shit?
I think it's a reason or a cause to delete that shit.
That's not a good enough cause for me. And really, if you were to delete your social media today, what the fuck you gonna talk about next week? You're not gonna have no information. You're not gonna have no news. You're not gonna know what's going on. What are you gonna talk about?
Hey, look, man.
I mean, not everything y'all talk about is...
Not everything, but we do talk about current events. Come on.
Which you get from social media. You gotta see some
shit from the internet.
Man, all your topics had nothing to do with social media.
I did that intentionally this week.
Okay.
This week I did that intentionally.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the last few episodes have been current events and stuff like. I want to do something for a change. So hell, I don't need my social media, but I still ain't giving it up. You know what I mean? But
I can guarantee if you didn't have social media, you'll hear about like.
Yeah, niggas will tell you.
You gonna know Kobe died.
Yeah,
like, you gonna know.
But
even YouTube,
you wouldn't have the same experience. What social media does for us is it feels as though we're connecting to other people. That's what it feels like. We get to see opinions. We get to see thoughts. We get to see how everyone's feeling about how they're projecting how they're feeling, right? But
if you're in a personable person, then if it's the majority of people that feel a certain way, you could not even be connected to that specific news. But then you see, everybody's glued into this, so now I'm glued into it too. A lot of shit don't really matter.
So somebody you didn't know, but everybody posting the RIP picture, so now you gonna post yours,
right?
Because everybody doing it.
So I'll say this, because that just goes back into programming. We're really just literally talking about programming right now.
So if you want to unplug,
if you want to unplug, I get it. But if you want to unplug and you want to stay plugged in to what's going on, then it's not a good idea to delete your social sites. You just have to set some type of boundaries.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so if you had to give up just one. Because I know you got a bunch.
Now.
If you had to just give up.
I don't know. I only have a few.
Okay, what's the one that you would give up?
If I had to give up a social site?
Yeah.
Snapchat. Fuck you.
Okay, Snapchat don't even count though.
How it don't count? It's social.
But I mean, it ain't even really. Is it even still popular?
That's what I'm asking. I
thought Instagram and Twitter was more popping than Snap. I don't never hear nothing about Snapchat.
You had to go to Google to check the facts, but
Okay,
I would give up
out of your
Snapchat.
Instagram and
She
Twitter,
said,
which one you gonna give up?
I'm gonna give you the answer you want, huh?
Which one you gonna give up?
Out of Instagram and Twitter, I give up Twitter.
What? I thought you was gonna say Instagram.
It's a lot more distraction on
But
Twitter.
you more. I have to say you more active on Twitter.
Yeah, because
Way more than I am.
nigga, you creeping because you ain't follow me.
Huh?
Yeah. Nigga ain't follow me yet. But
Cause
yeah,
on your
I
topic,
give up.
you always say
Twitter.
you was on Twitter.
Okay, you better clean it up, Mop. Hold up.
Look, I got you, babe.
Appreciate it, girl.
Yeah, appreciate it. That's why you get that motherfucker up.
And some money.
Hey, around. If I give up Twitter, it's hella distractions on Twitter. Instagram forces me to be more productive, only because it's a format. You put that shit on your page and everybody can see it forever. If you don't want to scroll down my Twitter feed, then you ain't. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like box after box after box on
Instagram.
And it has to be precise because it's going to sit there until you put something else.
Yeah.
You can't retweet something. You know what I'm saying? You have to literally put it on your page. So Instagram forces me to be more productive. So I would give up, I would absolutely give up Twitter before I give up Instagram. No doubt.
And
I'll go back and
just
forth
reading,
once in a while.
right? It's just like
Nah, niggas ain't putting up
They got
videos.
pictures. And there's no boundaries.
Twitter has pictures.
Ain't no boundaries on Twitter, but
Twitter has
like you would get in trouble for putting up some stuff that's on Instagram that you like.
So it's hella ass on Twitter.
Nick.
ass.
There's pornography on Twitter.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes. That Mimi, what was her name? Mimi, the shower, the girl that fucked the
Oh,
dude.
Mimi False.
Her and what's her name? Whatever nigga name was that was fucking in the shower, loving hip hop.
Nico.
I saw that on Twitter.
The unedited version.
The unedited,
That's
yes.
so corrupt. And,
What's her name? What's the girl name that was giving that trash ass head? Black China. That shit was on Twitter.
That's just so corrupt. Not even for just your relationship, but the fact that this shit is accessible to your children.
That's what I was saying.
This is so sad. Like what?
Yeah.
That shit wild, bro. And they got
Asian in their mother's Bentley. Or yeah, I mean.
Oh shit! Let's not talk about Tumblr.
I never was a Tumblr guy.
Shit, I had Tumblr. I had Tumblr. That shit was X videos for real.
Shit, nigga. Nigga, let me tell you about Tumblr, boy. I miss Tumblr.
Nah, Tumblr was wild. Tumblr, nigga, all the porn stars had a Tumblr.
Hell yeah, I bet it was.
Oh, you don't want to go to X and X videos? You only want to see my videos?
Go to Tumblr.
Go to Tumblr. Follow the
Nigga,
girl.
on Twitter, everybody's doing something called OnlyFans.
Oh yeah. Fans only pages. Yeah.
Sheesh, that shit is out of hand.
It's just like them premium Snapchat girls.
Yeah. That shit is out of hand.
Snapchat got premium.
Nigga, what?
School with some.
This
I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is.
All right, man. This next segment, we're gonna highlight
Salty.
one black person from Black history. That isn't the regular run of the mill MLK, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks.
Cause it's the last episode of Black History Month.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So, shit. I'm gonna start off. My black figure is Jack L. Cooper. He was the first radio DJ for black people. He was a part of this white radio station, but he had his own segment called the All Negro Hour, and there he played music from Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Dizzy Gillespie, just all types of people in that sense. He was born in 1888, so that tell you how long that shit was ago. Aside from the All Negro Hour, he had his own radio station where he found or he reunited migrants, free slaves from the South that moved up to the North with family members that still lived in the South. He reunited them, and I thought that's an amazing feat. He was definitely a civil rights activist as well. He died in 1935, and he was 81 years old. So, wow. Shout out to Jack L. Cooper. You are the reason why we do this shit now.
Yeah, he's a pioneer, man. He gave us that. He paved the way for us.
Facts.
All right, so mine's a bit different. Instead of one person, I chose 69 people.
Damn.
Yeah. So mine is actually an incident that happened in Arkansas, right?
Okay.
For the last 5 decades, every year has been 1959 for Frank Lawrence. This is the guy they're interviewing, of course. For the majority of his life, Lawrence has been trying to solve one of Arkansas's greatest mysteries. This is a quote from Mr. Lawrence. No one ever knew it existed because the ability of the state of Arkansas to do such a fantastic job to cover it up. What he's speaking about is a situation at a all-Negro boys industrial school in Riceville, and this is in Arkansas, ages 13 to 17, including Lawrence's 15-year-old brother, Lindsey Cross. They were padlocked in their dormitory, and that dormitory was then set on fire. Yeah. So, absolutely horrible and a tragic situation that most people don't know about.
What year was this?
This was in 1950. Let's see. Let me make sure I get that. 1959.
Wow.
Yeah. 1959.
That wasn't long ago at all.
Nah. Very recent, and most people do not know about the situation.
Yeah, I never heard about
this.
that.
Guess why I learned about it?
Huh?
Twitter.
This nigga.
I ain't giving up my socials. Alright. Yeah, so the fact that this happened was incredibly horrible. It was a time in which, of course, white people still hate black people. But not all white people now. Not all white people then. But a large majority of those white people owned enough shit to make this type of thing happen. And then go unnoticed by historians. So let's read a little bit more. Someone was calling me. Alright. So the boys in the school were committed for being orphaned, homeless, or for committing offenses described as mischief and alleged petty crimes. Still no reason to be burned alive.
I was about to say, and were they really committing petty crimes, or were they being framed for that shit?
Right, and that sounds to me like black codes. If you don't have a job, or if you're out there, and
you out there past 7 p.m. or whatever.
Exactly, they gonna lock your ass up. You know what I'm saying? So the school and the treatment of the children became a fiery representation of segregation within the South during the Jim Crow era. I went ahead and I Googled some things about Jim Crow, right? So, common Jim Crow laws included literary tests, poll taxes, and the grandfather clause. And we're going to jump from that and get some more information. Which were all restrictions on voting meant to keep black men from casting a ballot. Bans on interracial marriage and separation between races in public and places of business were also common parts of Jim Crow. So, Jim Crow laws were they were set up to keep black people from doing anything.
Also to keep black people at odds with each other. Because I don't know if you ever read the Jim Crow letter, but he was basically talking about the best way to break them up is to pit the old against the young, the light skin versus the dark, the man versus the woman. And that's why we have a lot of these problems today.
Absolutely. So that's what I wanted to speak about. Just because most people don't know about this moment in history in which these students, you know what I mean, these young kids, 13 to 17 years old, 21 orphans. Of them. Yeah.
That's one thing that stuck out. They were orphans.
Yeah. Already don't have anything to go back to.
R.I.P. to the 69 young boys that passed in that murder. I ain't gonna say death. That was a murder.
That was a murder.
Who you got, y'all?
I would like to highlight Issa Rae.
Hey.
Yeah.
She's a known American actress. She's a writer and a producer. And she first started her work on YouTube with her web series Awkward Black Girl. That's where she had her come up. And she just kept progressing, kept doing the work. And eventually she got to where she is now, where you see her on films in the movie theater, like The Photograph, which is...
I know a lot of y'all niggas seen that on Valentine's Day. I know we saw that shit.
Yeah, it's a dope movie. If you have not checked out The Photograph, please check it out. But I remember specifically watching an interview with Issa Rae, and she kept pushing and saying that if you don't see what you want to do, do it. Create it. Create the avenue. Create whatever. And she was just saying, like, that's what got her through. That's the advice that she gives people that comes to her, young people saying, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know how to, or I want to do this, but I haven't seen. Go create go create it. And when it start popping, people gonna follow in your footsteps, which is exactly what she did. She created a lot of avenues for people that she was working with on YouTube, and with her moving to Insecure, that's on HBO. HBO.
Fire.
If you look at the movie The Photograph, a lot of those actors came from are featured on Insecure. So it just shows you that she bringing her people along, like she putting her people on. So much respect to you, Issa Rae, and all of your endeavors and everything that you have placed into the universe and into the lives of us who look up to you. You are a great and wonderful female Black inspiration, and you inspire others more than you know. So big ups, Issa Rae.
Say another thing I like about Issa Rae for real, like on Insecure, she basically picked out all the songs, all the background songs, all the music. Nigga, every song on season 1 through I think 3. I think they got 3 seasons. How many seasons? Every song that ever showed up or came out on that show was fire, and she handpicked those artists. And I know she even had like a thing where she was telling people to like send in their music so she can put it on the show.
Yep, I've seen that. And a guy I know from FAMU, Florida A&M University, I forget his name, but